Hello there peeps, just having another go at Niges Rusty Fun. I'm a little wander into the curio shop. As you can see, having a little wander about. Right, I've set out a couple of bits and pieces that I sort of had come my way in the last sort of week or so. It's been hard to actually come up here and do a few bits. I've been steaming through the old little caravan. So now I've got a moment, and if you can hear, it's raining really bad outside, so I'm going playing. Right, here we go. Last time we was on, I did actually say about these side panels of Excelsior motorbike. It's like a scooter, but I can't find it. I've looked on the net, I've got both sides to this, I just can't find them. Again, if anyone knows, give me a screen. Also as well, talking about no info on something yet, would be over here is this press. I haven't got any right info on it yet. I haven't been able to check it out properly yet, but someone might go, yeah, I know what that is, and give me a bit of a clue up. Right, so back to beginning a little bit. Picked this up last night off a friend. It's one of the old knife sharpeners and tool sharpener. It's nice, really nice. I think it's an old Manchester one. Yeah, in Manchester. For next time, I'm going to sort out the lighting. I just haven't had time. Thought I'd jump on it now, and this is the result. So very amateur. But this is something I picked up the other day. Love this. This is a wheel truing jig, made by Banbury, or should I say Bradbury. Yeah, as you see, what happens is you'd put the wheel in there. This is when all your wheels had spokes. So you'd line up the top part. It needs a bar in the other side. So as you centralise the wheel, once the actual wheel's on there, then what you do is, now this bit usually isn't on them. Basically you undo these, set your wheel dead centre, and then once it's dead centre, it gives you a clue of where your wheel is in or out. This gap here, this gap here. And then as you tighten up the spokes, which is something, I've got a spoke truing tool, which I'll show you in a little while. Then basically you true up the actual wheel, so it runs dead true. It's not all hence if you had a buckled wheel, you get buckles out with one of these as well. It's got number 3 on it, so obviously there must be different sizes of them. I didn't actually know that, but I've never had one before with that centre part. They're usually missing. Right, moving on a little bit. Moving on! Right, here we go. Right, another little jeweller's hand drill. Again, when you have a look at this, it's a lovely bit of kit. Movement is beautiful, but I couldn't suss out why it had a handle on it, and I thought, you know, is that so you can carry it mobile, or but I got a funny feeling it's so you undo this part here, so then it can go up and down. So then once you actually got the drill piece in the material, and then basically you can push the weight down on it and carry on drilling. So that seems like more sense, but I'll have a little look into that as well. So let you know. Right. Move a couple of bits around. One of my friends saw the last video, and he said it really helped him well to go asleep. That's Mike, but I'm sure I will get my own back. Right, this little thing here. Right, this is a little, well, basically for making your tea. So, yeah, look at all of that. Boiling. Spirit stove and stand. It's the first time I've looked in here properly, so you're getting first hand. Look at that, first hand experience. Do you reckon I need to sort the lighting situation out? He's a bit bad, isn't it? those little bits. They're beautiful. Be nice to try that out. Again, lovely little bits. Right, that's enough of the bits over here. Oh, if you remember, I showed this on the last video. Basically, it's an actual rake off a horse-drawn agricultural machine. And when you have a look at the pictures, I found some pictures on the net. This was the footplate. They'd actually stand on this, and then you know where you see those cast iron tractor seats, they'd actually have one of those that they sat on, and then beside that there'd be another lever. I don't know if that was a brake or something or other, but how mad is that, just for standing on? Beautiful, isn't it? And again, the B was the B in JCB was Bamford's. Right. You see in the background there, nice old wheel. Right. I'm going to wander down the bits and pieces here till we get to the stuff I'm going to show you next. Set out a few little bits. Right. Some things aren't always that old, but mind you, I suppose they're stretching their legs now. But this here, for everyone that knows their Ford parts, this is a Ford Weber carb, but when you have a look, this is all glass. Plastic. This might have been used to show apprentices and everything how a carb works. This is so they can see all the actual ins and outs. Carb, look how mad that. I've never seen one of them before. Well, then when I got one, guess what? Dun, 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 got two. So this is what you normally see on the CV engines and things like that. Look at that. That's mad, isn't it? Fell in love with them straight away, like you do. Right, moving on. This here is a steam whistle. I found this with a load of other bits, which I will show you at one stage, but didn't know what it was off of until I researched the other bits, and one of them being a sign. And basically it is actually to a fairground attraction. It's like a big organ that sits on a back of like a wagon, but the bits I found was all the tooling and everything to make the tubes and everything like that. But that's beautiful. Loads of me pals been trying to get it off of me, but I think that's got to stay here a while. Right, next thing is face value is just a little gargoyle with a backing mirror. This was actually a friend of mine. His dad is clearing out the whole of his garden, and this was on the wall. And if you have a look, I think sparrows and things like that have picked at it. Look at that, that's beautiful, isn't it? But he did say it was 30 years old, and if I'm honest, I didn't really sort of believe him. But then, where is it? We'll find it, must be on the other side. There we go. 1989. So he was telling the truth. That soon shut me up. Another bit here. I'll be bolting this towards my mate Steve. He loves all this ship stuff. Or his new nickname is Uncle Albert. He'll love that. That's a whopper, that one is. That's a struggle, lift that up. That'd be a little bit of fun. Right, this bit here, I'm not sure whether this was some sort of like ground marker. It looks like it gets thrown in the ground, but then you've got this reg number. Someone's got to know what that is. Got these little pegs around it as well. Some of them are rotted away. A few missing there. Be nice to know what it is. I might like it to be a grave marker or something like that. Another little thing from my mate's dad, who I got the gargoyle off of. So he had some really nice bits. I got some garden bits off of him and everything. But these aren't mental, but I love them. Anything to do with cars, and where it's a bit of brass, where there was just a little bit patina on them. I thought, what a great thing. You'd like to have them cars now, wouldn't you? Look at that Rolls Royce. 97. I think I've actually got a wheel for that downstairs. Packard. Mercedes. Lovely again. Right. What else we got? This. I think it's Bakelite. But I think it might be the horn off a car. The centrepiece. That'll go with all my little car bits. We like a drop of that. I picked this up the other day off a little stall. It was only a real silly cheap item, and they told me I was really lucky to buy a sharpening stone for that sort of cheap money. It was £1 or something. I said, well, it's not a sharpening stone for a start. A lot of people would have had these at school, but it's a pencil case. But I just loved it where it just shows us such a story. Look at that. Look at all the blistering, the bits of paint. I can't help but love all the wood. When it's got the age to it now, it's just lovely. Right. Next piece was something one of my friends made up. Made it up out of all odds and sods, all like shells there, and then this part here. This was from a pub. When you have a little look, darts, pub entrance. So I don't know exactly what that was, but then when you have a look at that clock, it looks like an old boiler, steam boiler. And then as you open it, there's a clock in there. Then even on the front, what's that plaque there? Yeah, nice little plaque. That's a made up thing, but I think I like it even more where it's been made up. From the same friend. He's a nightmare, a bit like myself. This here is a World War I French made heater. So you can imagine, and there is a plaque there. So anyone that knows their stuff will be able to do a bit more research. All the bits and pieces show. If I've got some info, I'll share it, but I'm not a professional at any of this, so it's all about having a bit of fun, and the best thing is people being involved. Come along to our shop, come and visit us, you know. If you've got knowledge to bring along, bring it along. The kettle's always on. That's what we're about. That's lovely. That'd be beautiful if you put it in the old polisher. They come up gleaming, but then I think you lose the age to it. Right, we're getting there. Let's have another little go now. Pick this up as well. You know, in all the old American movies where you see the cop shining their light. A little look on that from Chicago. Yeah. That there obviously probably would have been on a police car. Don't know what sort of age. But just a great thing. In case you're wondering what our table is, it's actually a birthing table. Bit strange, but ayo, we like a bit of strange. These two, I don't usually have anything to do with little trinkety bits or silver bits, but these have got 2 coins in them. I haven't cleaned these or anything, just as they are. But then when you flip them over, 1 rupee. One looks like it says 1879, but then the other one, I'm sure it had 1915 on it or something. Yeah, 1915. So obviously wouldn't have been done the same time. Well, would have been done the same time, but obviously with coins that have been found. So someone might know some good history on them. I'm not too sure. Moving on. Right. This was off one of my friends. This was actually going to go in the scrap as a bit of brass, but it's Coldstream Guards. Someone might know how to get the history of that number there. Yes, so if you do, let us know. That'd be great fun. More about that. I think that's got to go up on the wall with a lot of the other trinkety bits. Right. Little candle holder. Again, I don't really go in for this sort of stuff, but if it comes my way through parcels, there you go. All the patina on there. Right, that can go. Right. Earlier, I said about the wheel trim jig. These are from the famous Brooks company, as you can see. These are for tightening and loosening your spokes on a wheel, basically. So if they're tightened, it brings the wheel in tighter. If they're loosened, it, you know, so then you can true the wheel. But there's two of them there. These probably would have been for just normal push cycles, bicycles, right? And then this is your repair kit. John Bull. You'll see loads of puncture repair kits with John Bull in them, but this is and Dunlop and things like that. First one I've seen, little small one like that. That's that. Moving on. Still got me fetish with getting loads of little jewellers vices. This is the sort of stuff I really love for myself. Look at that. A little jeweller would have had that. Probably would have made some really impressive bits and pieces. There's one. I seem to be getting at least sort of 1 or 2 of these a week. Sort of now. Another one, look. This one's got the little anvil on the back. It'd be interesting if there's a book out there on anyone that's done these and has got a lot of history around them. Because you see them for real silly cheap money around all the fairs and the boot fairs. There's no great value to them, but the workmanship that sort of like would have went into that and the workmanship that would have been done on it is the stuff I sort of love. More or less the same thing. This come through one of my pals, and this is a gun tool vise. So I'm not sure exactly what it would have been used for on the gun tooling. Same sort of principle as the old vices like that. There's something on the side of it there. FCC, probably was the person that owned it. Oh. I've really got to sort out the light situation. But the real clever thing about this is, as you go down, the handle unscrews as it comes off like that. Got all the tooling bits. And by the looks of it, he's already put some info on there for me. USA. So American. Be interesting to see some history that went with that. Oh, I did notice as well, look, If you can see it, there's a pin in the back end of there, so it must have been for something or other as well. You can't really see anything down there. Right, that's enough of those bits. Right, everyone knows, do like a dial. I think it's an old Jaeger one. It'll be a time no one will be able to get these anymore. I'll have them all sitting here in my shop. Right. Nice Red X one. I'm not sure why they used to use these. Obviously you've got a gauge coming off of it. Again, lovely. Moving on. Right, next thing is this. When my friend brought me this, he didn't think I'd actually get it, but I did understand it straight away. Had a winding handle on it, and as you opened it up, hey presto, it was like this. People don't. Right, basically, as this turns, it turns the wheels when it's in motion. What you'd do in the olden days, you'd put your razor, the actual blade itself, on there. Put the blade on there, then it would be closed up, then that's over there like that, then whilst it's in there, and then you'd hold it, and then as you turn this, it actually sharpens the blade. What a lovely thing. We don't do stuff like that anymore. Obviously we've got throwaway razors. Imagine a gentleman that would have had that. That would have been proper innovation. Right, a tin. Old tin, I couldn't walk away from this. Look at the colour in that. That is definitely going to be sitting on the shelf. A few of my tin friends are going to be all over it like a rash, and no, they're not having it. It's mine. It's my rusty gold. If anyone likes all their old stuff, you know, obviously subscribe to us, and I'll keep on putting them up. If I've got people subscribing, then you feel better for putting more stuff up, and obviously all the projects we're going to be doing, they're going to be going up. It's everything to do with old rusty cars, bikes, push bikes, machinery. Look at that. We like people coming down, getting involved. Right, also we're going to finish it on bunting. I've got a load of old bunting here. It's one piece, but someone is pre-1947. Or different countries. What did it say about that? Right, I hope you're loving it, or getting involved with us. What I'm going to try and do is some of the things I don't know about, I'll yeah, look at that table. Bit of a weird thing to have as a table, but it's all fun. See you later.